Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace, and it's been years, maybe not really years, I guess. Well, it's getting on up there, almost 2 years, since I started writing a story about two sisters, twins, Zoe and Chloe. Actually, it looks like it was sometime in December 2020, so not even a year. I had written the date down on a note. But anyway, these two sisters, they have other siblings, and they have a very dysfunctional family. Now, Chloe is one of them that is the big troublemaker, and she kind of, spurs other ones on, the other siblings, to, basically pick on Zoe. Zoe's their black sheep, you could say. Now, as I had learned myself, sometimes being the black sheep is the best thing in the world anybody could say, because you're nothing like them. You don't want to be. Anyway, she had this very dysfunctional family, and it started off early when their parents, they were living in their house and, with their parents, and just one day the parents said they'd had enough, and they left a short note letter, said they'd had enough of being parents, and that the eldest one could take care of them, and just left. Never to be heard from again. And the eldest was old enough to be Kiara. She was old enough to take care of them, so she did until they graduated and all that. So anyway, I had written this little PowerPoint video on it, and I'm going to try to add this one to that one if I can, and or do them separately on this channel. But basically, Chloe did the typical kind of things, such as, doing smear campaigns behind Zoe's back, when they were growing up, trying to make it as though Zoe was the one that was hurting her, was bothering her, was being mean to her, whatever. And also, she, like I said, spur on the other siblings to where, using triangulation and various things, okay? And, she was one to do things like Chloe was one to steal her ideas, steal her boyfriend, steal her whatever. You don't steal people, but like that. But you know what I'm saying, try to. And she just got a kick out of it. She thought it was hilarious. And but there were, of course, a lot more things deeply rooted into her mind, Chloe's. And, of course, she caused Zoe a lot of problems. But this is part of a series, and it's not I haven't updated, since I started it. But, yeah, it changes. Now, generally when a person is, say, a narcissistic histrionic blend or not, or just separate, their behaviors, not diagnosed, but they don't tend to change, okay? I mean, in my experience, I cannot say that's 100% across the board, of course not. And it also depends on where on the spectrum it's, and can be so many other things that can happen that could make them not exactly snap out of it, but a little bit. Something tragic happens. You never know what caused it. I mean, you might speculate, but what might, lessen it. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this series on them. Now, this is all part of a bigger series. I do this, like I was saying, or did I say, like rough drafts to help me organize the stories. And then, I do them on my camera. But anyway, I'll try to add that part to it. And it goes over things like, how they taunt and tease, and how they play the silent game, the triangulation, the, set up to fail, all of these. But it's just real brief. If you've ever written on PowerPoint, try to write a story. I have not known anybody to do that except for me. I don't know anybody. There could be somebody, of course. It's not easy. You say, very little, you got to cramp everything very little into, reduce it. Anyway, That's enough for now. I'll talk to you in another video. Bye.